Hey guys, it is the dude who talks and welcome to today's video. So for today I'm going to be talking about the upcoming new album from Choas Over Cosmos called The Ultimate Multiverse, which is going to be out on the 20th of June through Narcoleptica Productions. This is their second album following on from The Unknown Voyage, and it has a new singer called Joshua Ratcliffe, who is from Australia. So who are Choas Over Cosmos, you might ask? Well, essentially they are a progressive metal project featuring two musicians who haven't met before. Raphael Bowman, who handles guitar, synths and programming. Initially for their first album it was Javier Calderon who did the vocals, but now Joshua Ratcliffe has stepped in for the Ultimate Multiverse, doing the vocals on that. So what did I think about this album? Did I enjoy it or did I just loathe it? Let's find out. So the album opens up with Cascading Darkness, and the one thing that I noticed most of all was the guitars. They definitely had this like djenty feel, and they've obviously got that huge technical prowess that's pulled off really well by Raphael Bowman. And the whole song, while it's about 7 minutes long, doesn't really feel that long. It has this whole fast-paced feel to it, and there's this segment in the song where the like drums and guitar really play off each other, and I think it's just absolutely insane. It's briefly touched upon the guitars, so what are the vocals like? Well, Joshua Ratcliffe has this kind of wide range. He goes from mid-throat scream and to a more deep guttural scream as well, and then to a much more higher pitched scream as well. And there's a fair bit of cleans used as well. So there's a nice bit of variety, so that is doing well so far and ticking the boxes in what I like in heavy music. So the song that follows on from Cascading Darkness is called 100, and the synths on this song take more of a lead, and there's a bit of like spoken word and whispering, which in some instances could come across as corny, but this whole song has this like kind of sci-fi feel to it. Well, the whole album does anyway, so it just feels right in place. So it's not for long though, the guitars come kicking back in and it's back to being heavy, but there's a much more melodic feel to it, especially with the chorus. Here's a sample of it. So I thought the album was really consistent. There wasn't really a weak song that stood out for me, but there was a couple of issues that I had with some things, which I will get into later. Now the thing is, with this kind of music, and I felt I needed to talk about this, was, especially with Jen, it's got to strike the right balance between technical skill and being enjoyable to listen to. Otherwise it's just going to come across as self-indulgent. Luckily, the Ultimate Multiverse doesn't fall into that category, and I had an enjoyable time listening to it. And for some reason, I had this like nice nostalgic feel to the time when I first discovered Gent, especially when I was like getting into bands like Animals as Leaders, especially Weightless, and the first couple of albums by Periphery. So it was nice to go back to that feeling again. So I thought I would pick out a standout track on the album, and that would have to be Worlds Apart. Man, it is fucking heavy. It has that chugging riffs and palm mutes, which I like, and it just doesn't mess around, and it's like more or less straight to the point, which I really like, as I keep saying on these videos. So what also it has is like these subtle changes in tempo, and there's this bit where it slowly gains more speed, and it made me prick up my ears. I thought, wow, that is pretty impressive. And while the other songs are roughly 8 minutes long, this is like the second shortest song on the album, and I felt it was more concise. and just kept to. So I did enjoy the album. However, I did have a couple of little issues with it. Nothing too major, and I do think I am genuinely nitpicking here. However, on We Will Not Fall, which is pretty decent, there's a moment where there's blast beats included, and a third away through the song they're included again, so yeah, pretty decent. However, towards the end, the same technique is used, but it looks like, well, sounds like actually, like a different drum kit, and it just threw me off a little bit. It felt a little inconsistent. Also, on this song, there's a bit where there's some clean vocals used, and they just sound a little bit painful, and it kind of looks like they were just like chopped in. It's kind of hard to explain, but it just felt really out of place. Luckily, it's just only that segment and nothing too distracting, to be honest. My overall impression was that it was very consistent. The songwriting and technical playing was really decent. There was a couple of instances which I spoke about, and to be honest, it did feel a little bit rough around the edges with the way it was recorded, but that's just only minor criticisms, really, and obviously it did make me feel very nostalgic. If you're a fan of After the Burial, Early Periphery, and Animals as Leaders, and there's probably a couple of others there, like Fell Silent, I reckon you'll enjoy this album, so yeah, give it a shot. Me talking about the Ultimate Multiverse by Choas Over Cosmos. Are you thinking of checking this album out? Please let me know down below in the comments section if you are. And like always, if you've enjoyed me awkwardly ramble on, please like, share and subscribe. It really helps out. I'm also on Facebook if you want to click a like on there. I've got a couple of things going on there that you should check out. And yeah, all I've got left to say to you guys is I've been the dude who talks, and cheers.